Hi, welcome to my video, part 8 on composition of functions, and this is number 6 in the composition of functions. Again, just some more word problems explained for you. Number 1, an isosceles triangle has a perimeter of 20 centimeters. Write the area A of the triangle as a function of one of its congruent sides x. So that means we have to write A, area, as a function of x as congruent sides. So we have an isosceles triangle. So let's draw the isosceles triangle. The isosceles triangle is two sides congruent, but the congruent sides are x. So this is x, and this is x. These are the two congruent sides. And the third side we'll call y. So we have an isosceles triangle, x, x, and y, two sides congruent. Now it says the perimeter is 20. Perimeter is 20, so P is equal to 20. But the perimeter of this isosceles triangle is the sum of the sides. So it's x plus x, so it's 2x plus y. That means that 2x plus y is equal to 20. So we want the area in terms of x. But the area of a triangle is half the base times the height. So the base of this triangle that we have here, the base of this triangle is a y. And the height in an isosceles triangle, when you drop the height down from the vertex or the apex angle here, top, because these two sides are equal, when you drop a vertex or an altitude down here perpendicular to the base, it makes it a right angle here, and that means because these makes these two triangles congruent, so the base is split into two equal parts, half y and a half y. So this is the height. So when you drop a perpendicular from the apex angle down through, you have a height and it splits the base. So now what we have, allow me to go further, I'm going to look at the triangle that we have an x, and we have an h, a right angle, and a half y. So that means we have c squared equals a squared plus b squared. C is the hypotenuse in this triangle, so that's x. A is the height, h, and a is the height, h. I said a, but I didn't put h in. And b is 1/2 y being squared. So c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Now we'll complete this out. So x squared equals y squared, x squared equals h squared, and 1/2 squared is 1/4 y squared. Now we need to have the area, so that means we need to have the area as a function of x. So that means in this formula here, the area got to have an x. So that means I got to change the y to an x, and I got to change the h to an x. So if I take this equation here and go y equals negative 2x plus 20, I now have y. Y is in terms of x. But I need the h. So over here I need the h, so I have to get the h in terms of, so y, so I don't need an h, so I have to get the h in terms of, I don't need the y and I don't need the x. So let's take this equation, x squared equals h squared plus 1/4, and y is negative 2x plus 20 squared. So that's x squared equals h squared plus, that's 1/4. So what I'm going to do is simplify. This is the negative 2, so I'm going to take the negative 2 outside of x minus 10. So as you can, just trying to make it a little bit simpler without doing a lot of complicated math. So I don't need that square there. Sorry about that. The square is here, so I made a mistake and just put it here, but I took the negative 2 out and got x minus 10. So when I square this bracket here now, I will get negative 2 squared is 4, and I will get x minus 10 squared. So I get x squared equals h squared, and 1/4 of 4 is 1, so I get an x minus 10 squared. So what I have x's on one side, so x squared equals h squared. I'm going to square this binomial, so we square the binomial. X squared is x squared. The product is negative 10 doubled is negative 20, and negative 10 times negative 10 is 100. So the x squared cancels, so I have h squared is equal to 20x minus 100. So the x squared cancels out, and the negative 20 moves over to become, oh, that's a negative 20x. Better make sure that's negative 20x becomes a positive 20x minus 100. So that's what h squared is. But so we take the square root of h squared, that's plus minus the square root of 2x minus, or sorry, again I did the 2x, square root of 20x minus 100. And that's an h, and this is the plus minus, the height, we can't have a minus, so the height is just the square root of 20x minus 100, can't be negative. And we can simplify that in that the square root of 4 is a common factor, so 4 outside of 5x minus 25. So h is equal, square root of 4 is 2, so that's 2 square root 5x minus 25. Now we have h in terms of x. So if we take this equation here, and we got a half, negative 2x plus 20, and h is 2 root 5x minus 25. And a half of 2, 2's cancel out, so I get negative 2x plus 20 and the root of 5x minus 25. And when it happens, we have the negative 2 comes out, negative 2 outside of x minus 10, root 5x minus 25. So the area, this is the answer. So the area of the triangle in terms of x, based on this condition with a parameter of 20 and being isosceles, the area is, in terms of x, is this negative 2 times x minus 10 times the root of 5x minus 25. And if you want, you can, if you check it, if you take a 6 and a 6, that means that's 12, so, sorry, that's 12 added up, so this is 8. So if you continue with that, just to check to see if you're right, if this is 8, this is split 4 and 4. So this is the Pythagorean, so that's the 36 minus 4 squared is 16, so that's a 20. So the height is the square root of 20, which is 4 times 5. So the height is 2 root 5. So the area of the triangle is a half the base times the height. That's a half the base is 8, and the height is, make that a 2 root 5. So the half of 8 is 4, so that's an 8 root 5. So if we took this expression, I'm just checking out now, just taking 6, 2 sides, 6 each, making an 8. It could have been, you could have had 8 and 8, 16, and make this a 4. It makes, you know, I'm just picking 2 numbers that are the same, and they add up to 20. So if I have a x's, what did I say x was? X was 6. X is 6 because that's the congruent side. So if I take 6 and put in here, negative 2, 6 minus 20, root of 5 times 6 minus 25. This is negative 2 times negative 4, square root of, that's 30, take away 25 is 5, 8 root 5. Check. So this is the right equation to have, that a is a function of x. Just verifying. I just did a little simple verification there. Okay, let's try another one. One more. A rectangular box with a base whose length is 3 meters and whose width is x meters has a volume of 12 cubic meters. Express its surface area as a function of x. So we have a rectangular box. So let's draw the rectangular box very quickly. What I do is I try to draw a diagram to represent, so you can see it easier. It has a length of 3 meters, and all the units are in meters, so we don't have to worry. You got to be careful. Sometimes the units are in meters and centimeters. You got to make sure you have them all in the same unit. And the width is x meters, and we got a rectangular box, so let's let this be the height. So the length, the width, and the height. And it says the volume is 12, and the volume is the length times the width times the height. So that means the volume is 12. We got 12 is equal to, the length is 3, the width is x, and the height is h. So that means 12 equals 3x h. And notice we leave that for a second, so I can divide by 3. I have x h equals, or 4 equals x h, or x h equals 4. But what we have, it says we want the surface area as a function of x. But the surface area of the box is the area of all the sides. So the surface area is a function of x. So this face right here, this is h. This face here, you think of the bottom of the box, and okay, the bottom of the box is, there's a bottom and a top. So the bottom is 3 times x, but there's 2 of them. And what we have, let's take this side. This side right here is x and h, but there's 2 of them. And this one, if you take this one right here, this is 3 and h, but there's 2 of them. So this is the area of one face, we double it because there's 2 of them. This is the area of another face, and we double them. This is the area of the third one. So we got a 3 and an x, an h and an x, and a 3 and an h. That be the case, we have 6x plus 2xh plus 6h. Notice we want the surface area as a function of x. That means we have to substitute x in the place of h. So right here, h is equal to 4 divided by x. Now we have h in terms of x. So 6x, and h is 4 over x, plus 6 times 4 over x. So we simplify that, we get 6x, the x's cancel, we get a plus 8, and that's no cancellation, so that's 24 over x. Now, the surface area is now a function of x, but we want to tidy it up. We could go that we want x on the bottom of right here, so we multiply this one by x over x. That gives us 6x squared. We multiply this one by x over x. That gives us 8x over x. And this one is already over x, because that's the LCD. That's 24 over x. So we could have 6x squared plus 8x plus 24 over x. Or we could have just what we had right here. We could have the surface area is just 6x plus 8 divided by 24x. So we could have this as an answer, or we could have this one as an answer. It makes no difference. The surface area is a function of x. So it could be this one or this one. And we want to factor the 2 out. We can, but so notice when you do these problems, we have to, if the surface area is a function of x, then we have to eliminate the h away from the problem to get the surface area as a function of, because you notice the volume is a function of L, W, and H. So L is 3, so we have to change the H to an X to get the surface area as a function of X, or even the volume as a function of X. Okay, that's a couple more problems done. And again, if you like my video, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button, visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video was of some help to you. Bye-bye.